Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week. No, this is for the next 3 months. Just kidding. We're doing a past, present, future reading for the end of 2024 here. You have this in the past position. You have this web of creation. It says, be aware of what you're weaving in your life to create better experiences. You have this crescent moon. It says, as the moon grows, so can your wealth, health, and happiness stay positive. So I like that. You have the, in your past position, you have the Ten of Cups, Five of Swords, and the Four of Swords. This could be you thinking, you know, well, let me just back up and say this. At the end of the year here, you definitely could be reminiscing, right? You could definitely be thinking about something that you thought you had that you lost. And it could have been like a happy home, happy family. Maybe you thought you were going to be with a person where you could have a happy home, happy family. And, but, you know, I would say the good news is that you have the Four of Swords here, which would say that you are healing from, you know, this loss. Even if it happened years ago, you could be thinking about it and just healing from it, just in general. Again, you have the Ten of Cups, Five of Swords, and the Four of Swords. The Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty, or, you know, kind of like happy home, happy family. But I always say that the Ten of Cups can represent a blessing, or can represent focusing on happiness, or a time where you were much more happy, since it's coming up in your past position. And then you go, and then you go to the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is like winning at all cost, or walking away from something. And so I feel for a lot of you, I actually kind of do feel that you won and you don't even realize it. So, you know, whether it doesn't matter if this was like a breakup, or maybe you feel like you lost something that you really enjoyed in your life, like a career or something like that in the past. I'm getting like the past 2 years or so that this could have happened, and you could be thinking about it right now, whatever this loss was. So, you know, again, I think that for a lot of you, that this Five of Swords is saying that you won, maybe without even realizing it, with the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is also about taking a risk. I do feel like some of you are thinking about taking a risk, because we have the Moon, and we also have the Ace of Swords. So the Moon would say that you're thinking about taking a risk where you don't know what the outcome is going to be, but you have the Ace of Swords, which is a victory. And so a lot of you have like some sort of victory coming in here as well. You have the Four of Swords. Again, I do love that the Four of Swords comes up after the Ten of Cups and the Five of Swords, because it would really say that you're healing from something that you thought you lost, or, you know, you're healing from some sort of loss that you've experienced over the last 2 years or so. And I have something about your like self-image popping into my head. So sometimes we have a loss, and I feel like it affects our self-image, like how we feel like we appear. And, you know, again, a lot of you could be healing. You could be healing that, like how you feel something made you look, right? And that's what I'm getting there. So let's see. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Queen of Swords. Again, really good, because the Queen of Swords would say that you're seeing things clearly for the first time. She normally has clouds only halfway up her body, and so it kind of represents the fact that she is seeing clearly in her life for the first time. And so you could be seeing like how something not working out was a blessing from the past, and you could be coming to this realization now. And again, maybe it's taken you a couple years to get to this point that you realize that something was actually a blessing. With the Five of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is, this has come up for you for a couple weeks, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's you, Capricorn. It's like you feel like you're not ready to take a risk, or you feel like you're not ready to do something, but the Seven of Wands really does say you are ready. You're never going to get to that point where you are ready, so you have to be ready right now. Seven of Swords or Seven of Wands, sorry, can come up sometimes when we feel that we're being like forced into something, but we're really not. We just feel like we're not prepared, but it's almost like you are as prepared as you're going to be. So, you know, the time is now. With the Four of Swords, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, you've probably been focusing on yourself. Nine of Pentacles, of course, is a card of independence and taking care of yourself, creating heaven on earth, and, you know, focusing on gratitude and luxuries. So I feel a lot of you have been focusing on your self-image. And I literally said this just 2 seconds ago. So that this kind of confirms to me that something happened that affects the way that you appear to yourself in your head. Does that make sense? Probably not. But I feel that the Nine of Pentacles is saying that you've been kind of like changing things in your environment, or you've been changing just situations in your life so that you can have a better self-image. I literally got that word on the Four of Swords for whatever reason. And the Nine of Pentacles really kind of is a card of self-image in some ways, right? Really, the other thing that gave me the clue for this was the Queen of Wands, which you have coming up in your reading. So, you know, you have two great cards of like how you appear to yourself. And of course, you know, that's all that matters. Like when we have a strong self-image, we can accomplish anything. Next, in your present position, you have this day moon. It says love on it. You also have this moon dance. It says celebration on it. So some of you could be inviting love into your life. This has come up for you for a while, Capricorn, like that you've been through a period of no love, and now you're entering into a period of love. So for those of you that want love, you could be attracting more love into your life. And again, this doesn't necessarily have to be a person. If you already have a person, or if you don't want a person, you know, this could be things that you love, or doing more of the things that you do love. You have the moon, the Ace of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. I feel like the moon is very simple in your reading. I feel like you just don't know how something's going to turn out. You know, the moon is part of the Fool's journey. The Fool has a goal of getting to these mountains in the background here, and it's the moon. You know, it's dark outside, so he has no clue how something is going to turn out, like because it's dark and it's a full moon. So during a full moon, we can still see, like if you go outside on a full moon, if it's not cloudy, right, you can see things, but there are shadows during the full moon, and we don't know if those shadows are real or if they're imaginary, if they're illusions. So it's like there are certain things that have to do with a goal, you accomplishing something with the Ace of Swords, a victory, and it's like you're not sure how things are going to go. So we have a couple of options with the moon. Number one, we can release our emotional armor. This lobster right here has its armor on. I don't know if you've ever seen a lobster on land, but they really can't move very well on land because they have this emotional armor on. You have this dog and this wolf, the dog and the coyote, whatever you prefer. And this kind of represents balancing out your wild side and your domestic side. And so you might need to balance out the two sides. We have the two pillars. The two pillars say that you need to see something through to the end. So the two pillars are a distraction to the Fool. They remind the Fool to stay on his path. They, you know, when we work on a project, when we get very close to the goal, which those pillars are very close to the mountains, that's usually where we think like, oh, if I do something else, you know, it kind of represents that switching, right? Where you're working towards something, then you switch to something else. And so this just reminds the Fool to stay on his path, because eventually he will reach his goal, those mountains. And then on top of that, you have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is above the mountains. So a lot of you are going to accomplish your goal if you stay focused. And the Ace of Swords is all about laser-like focus, focusing on one thing and accomplishing it, focusing on one thing and making it happen. Also, a card of balance. We just had that Libra eclipse on October 2nd, and so a lot of you need to kind of have that, you know, balance your life out. And again, the dog and the wolf, dog and coyote on the moon card say that maybe you need to balance out your domestic side and your wild side. But definitely could be a victory coming in for you. You have the Seven of Swords. This is like too much strategy is what I would say. I'm almost getting too much strategy, like I just said. I just said that. So I'm repeating myself. But it's I almost feel if you are trying to accomplish something, it's like just go for it. Don't like over plan. Don't try to come up with like extra plans and things like that. That's the message I'm getting off of the card, is that there's almost like too much planning going on, and I feel if you would just, and so that, you know, that could say that what you need to balance out is your wild side, you know, the side that's willing to take the risk, the side that's willing to be messy, right? And I think that if you just would get started, that you'd be successful much faster. With the moon, you have the Tower. Every single person except for Taurus, I think, has had the Tower in this set of readings. So, you know, at the end of the year, we're definitely going to see some craziness. So I would just keep your head on straight. The Tower can also be coming down to reality. And so maybe there's part of reality that you need to see more clearly with the Queen of Swords, like the reality of your situation or the reality of where you're at in life. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment. There's definitely some sort of wish here. I feel like this is something you talk to yourself about. You go to that Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is communication. It's kind of almost saying, like, there needs to be communication, but I also feel that some of you have been, like, fantasizing, daydreaming, you know, imagining something with that Nine of Cups. It's not really what the Nine of Cups represents, but it's definitely popping into my head. And the Nine of Cups is a wish. So, you know, this reading is literally saying that you can get something that you wish for if you start, you know, taking action. But I feel like you talk to yourself about this in my head. It's like I talk to myself a lot. I'm a Pisces, of course, so I just talk to myself all day long, right? And that's kind of what I feel here. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, don't give up. Maybe you were hurt in the past as well. So if your goal is love, for example, here, this could, this row, clearly there was some sort of hurt in the past. The Nine of Wands would say that you have to open up. And the Nine of Wands also says that you can't give up. So I feel like you need to keep working towards your goal, wish, dream, whatever it is for you. It's going to be different for all of you. Next, in your future position, you have this koala. It says spirit has a plan. You have this coyote. It says trust in divine detours. Yeah, like I said, maybe this is why I was saying, don't plan too much with the Seven of Swords, because there are going to be detours. And again, sometimes I think if we over plan something and then it doesn't work, we get disappointed. And it stops us from doing what we were doing because it didn't go according to plan. But really, the universe has a better plan, and we just need to follow the better plan. And, I feel like that's what this reading is saying. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Devil. Yeah, I feel like there is communication or some sort of communication that's important in your life right now. It could be what you're talking to yourself about. This could also be you communicating with a person if you want love, because you have that love card. It's not really a love reading. There aren't like a ton of love cards here, but, definitely could be a love situation. The Page of Pentacles is also the willingness to learn. So if you're starting anything new, being willing to learn more about whatever you're doing would be a good idea. You have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want, like really making something happen. And I feel that would be very beneficial for you with the Queen of Wands, like really kind of going after what you're trying to accomplish in your life and making it happen. I feel like I've said this to you as well, Capricorn. I could be wrong, but the Queen of Wands, sometimes I feel that the Queen of Wands is afraid of doing something because she's fearing judgment. She is kind of very independent and she does her own thing. And she doesn't live life conventionally, or she might be doing something that is unconventional. I definitely feel that for you with this reading. It's like you're creating your own unique path, which would be unconventional. And so you might have people in your life who are saying, don't do this, don't do that, but you need to follow your own journey. And to kind of like further that message, you show up as yourself, the Devil. So the Devil is really Saturn in Capricorn, but the Devil can represent Capricorn. I feel like this is just you. I don't really feel there's anything toxic going on here except for a past situation that might have been toxic. Of course, but it looks to me like you're kind of moving past it finally, or you're getting over it, or whatever the case may be. I really feel the Devil is talking about your energy and using your energy to find success. I also just feel work here. The Devil, again, can represent Saturn, which could just be hard work or needing to put the work in to accomplish your goal. On top of all that, I also feel more creativity would be beneficial for you. Just looking at these cards, trust in divine detours, you have several cards here that would really represent your own unconventional path that you're on, needing to be creative. Things aren't necessarily going to go according to your plan. They're going to go according to Spirit's plan. So you're going to have to be creative, flexible, and, be willing to kind of go after things in different ways. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, if you are attracting love, I do like the King of Pentacles in love because usually it's a person who wants something long-term, a person who really wants to put the work in and, really wants to make things happen. So this could be a very strong connection that's coming in for you. This is also amazing for building wealth. I think it's time for Capricorn to improve their finances, and you are going to be doing that. So, a lot of you could be using your skills to improve your finances. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups could be a soulmate. So again, if you want love, definitely could be a soulmate coming in for you. Could be like more childlike and more playful, like in a good way. Sometimes I say that and people are like, I don't want something that's not serious. I'm like, well, it's not that it's not serious. It's just more playful. And, that's not a bad thing. So again, I think this could be a little bit more playful. I also look at this card as removal of obstacles. So the Six of Cups can represent a turnaround. And it can be a gift from the universe. And usually the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is a turnaround. Like I said, is, obstacles being removed, or we overcome some challenges that we've been experiencing. So I feel like you could be overcoming some challenges here. With the devil, you have the lovers. Yes, definitely love. I'm telling you, yeah, I mean, anytime I say that it's not a love reading, all the love cards come out. So, again, definitely could be love connection. I feel like there needs to be communication. Even the Ace of Swords can be communication. So this could be a love connection coming in for you. It could be another earth sign or a person with a lot of earth in their chart because of the King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. Personally, I know a lot of Capricorn, Virgo couples in my life. So, it could be like a Virgo, for example. It is a good match. Could be, this could be any sign, but it is popping into my head. Next, in the outcome position, you have this Cosmic Justice card. You also have this Pregnancy and Birth card. Yes, if you are getting into a new connection, I would definitely be very careful of getting pregnant because, this could be something that happens quickly, and you don't want an oopsie on your hands here. If you're too old to get pregnant, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but clearly, this message isn't for you. So let me say that again for the people in the back. If you are too old to get pregnant, this message isn't for you. This could represent the birth of something else, just like a new relationship or starting a business or something like that. I do feel like you are getting justice for whatever you've been through. So again, if you were in a toxic connection, for example, this could be a new connection that's very positive and, balanced. Same thing in work or business. You could be getting what you feel like you are owed. This makes a lot of sense because we finally have Pluto moving on from Capricorn. I can't wait. I have 900 planets in Capricorn myself. So, Pluto in Capricorn has been a wild ride. And I would say that, I think Capricorn energy is entering into a much better time. In the area of the outcome, you have the Three of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. The Three of Cups can be a celebration or happiness coming in for you. This could also be you celebrating a harvest. I would really encourage Capricorns to work on one thing at the end of the year here and make it happen. See it through to the end with the Moon card and don't get off your path. Pick a goal that you want to accomplish that maybe has to do with a harvest. Could be a financial harvest, could be any other type of harvest, and really make it happen because you can. But there is a little bit of laziness at the end of the year here. So I think the motivation might be lacking, but if you can just take those steps, it might, again, I want to encourage you, Capricorn, because I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's gonna be a slog, right? If you're working on something, it's very much gonna be more Taurus type energy, even though, yes, I understand you're a Capricorn, but I'm talking about Taurus energy right now because that King of Pentacles, it's gonna be very one foot in front of the other, but it will be the end of the year before you know it. So why not have a reward at the end of the year, right? So even if you have to put extra work into something, I feel it'll be worth it. You have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles can represent feeling left out in the cold, but really it's a card of needing to make sure that you are not focusing on your weaknesses, needing to make sure that you're focusing on your strengths. So I would focus on all the stuff that you are good at in life. I would focus on everything that makes you feel strong, abundant, successful, creative. I would focus on all the good energies with this card because that will help you the most with the Five of Pentacles. You have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about going on a new adventure. I really feel the Queen of Wands here, this and the Page of Wands is saying that you're needing to go on some sort of unconventional journey. Like I say, the Tower, I think, gets a bad rap. The Tower can just say that you're looking at your life, you're deciding what you've been doing so far hasn't been working, you're coming down to reality, which is what the Tower says, and you're starting a new journey, like an unconventional path, right? With the Three of Cups, you have the Empress. Love it. Definitely a lot of abundance that you could be creating here by the end of the year. And the Empress is a card of not having to work so hard to create that abundance. I really feel you're going to feel that Pluto movement probably now, probably very soon. Depending on when you're watching this, Pluto is moving forward now. And so as Pluto moves forward, you're going to feel better and better and better. So it's things are not going to be so hard for you to create. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the High Priestess. Yeah, needing to trust your intuition. Sometimes I feel Five of Pentacles and the High Priestess together definitely says that you're not trusting your intuition. The weakness of the Five of Pentacles is that you are not listening to your inner voice. So it's I'm wondering if some of you are wondering if something is real because we have the Moon here, and then we have the Nine of Cups as well. And I was kind of saying earlier that Nine of Cups felt like something you were imagining to me, which is not what the Nine of Cups represents, but whatever. And, I kind of feel you are wondering if it's almost like the High Priestess is saying you are getting signs and symbols and synchronicities, but you're thinking to yourself, no, this isn't real, or I'm imagining this, or, I have someone put a spell on me, or, whatever the case may be. But I feel like it is real. You need to trust your intuition. With the Page of Wands, you have the King of Swords. I kind of feel like this is what you have earned. You know, the King of Swords has a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and he has earned that knowledge and wisdom. He has earned his right to kind of like be a leader and take action, and he uses his knowledge and wisdom for success. So you have this wealth card, love it. Definitely the whole entire reading says that you are building wealth or you are working your wealth. King of Pentacles is a card of wealth. So a lot of you could be increasing your financial wealth, which is great. You have this Mule card. It says, someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. This is going to slow you down more than anything else. So I would be careful of stubborn people. And I would also be careful of like teaching people as well. It's like sometimes it's like I always sound like a jerk when I say this, right? But I am a jerk, number one. So get over it. But number two, what I would say is that it's like sometimes it's like there are people that we just can't help. And I think you need to be careful of who you are helping right now. I'm not saying that you shouldn't help people, but what I am saying is it's like at a certain point there are people that you just cannot help, right? And I would be careful of that. You have this butterfly. It says a change for the better. Yes, I feel like you are feeling the weight of Pluto off of your shoulders, so that's going to be great. You have this beetle. It says good fortune on it. Really good reading. Best reading I've done. The readings have been a little bit sketchy, right? Everybody's had the tower, a little bit weird, and, you know, I think people could be a little bit emotional at the end of the year here, but yours looks very, very positive. You have this torch. It says spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Five of Pentacles with the High Priestess, for sure. So that looks good. I would trust your intuition. What are you talking to yourself about? That's what I would be asking if I were you, Capricorn. But this looks very good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your next 3 months.